and so on. So today I found out that I am the book reviewer of today, and the book I reviewed today is Wanting. So the book is trying to show you how can you figure out that one thing that you wanted to achieve. Because sometimes in life, you may find out that you may be just living your life without even knowing where are you going to, where do you want to become, where you want to be. So the book is trying to emphasize on how can you be responsible for that one thing that you wanted to become. So because sometimes in life there are a lot of distractions that you may find out in life. You may focus on that one thing maybe you want to achieve, but at the end of the day some other things might be screaming at your head, needing your attention to attend. So the book is trying to emphasize when you figured out that one thing you want to achieve, so that's the beginning of your success. That's the beginning of how you achieve that one thing you want to become. There are a lot of lessons learned in the book because the book talks about the focusing question, and the focusing question is talking about is saying that what is that one thing you need to achieve. So when you figured out that one thing, everything else can be easier and unnecessary, and anything that comes which is not aligned with that one thing is a distraction. So I learned that lesson from the book, and the book also emphasized on habit create success. So also this one, I learned that when you create habit for something that you want to achieve, definitely if you keep on doing that habit, it may lead you to success. And then being accountable and productivity. The book also talks about accountability. For you to figure out that one thing, you have to take ownership of your outcomes. Yes, because when you feel like you are a victim of some certain circumstances, definitely you may not have the time to sit and think, ask yourself what the problem, how you encounter how the problem occurs. So you may not have the opportunity to find the solution to that problem. So being accountable and responsible for your own outcomes. These are some little lessons I learned from the book. This book is written and is needed by someone who feel he is stuck over him. Maybe you are at some point in life where you feel you don't even know where to start. So I suggest that whenever you feel stuck in life, you just go back and find this book written by Gary Keller with J. Papasan. That's one thing. So the book will help you, shape you, find that you are one thing that you want to achieve. And by then, you get to figure out where you want to become. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone, and especially to the reviewer. It was indeed a short but precise, straight to the point review of the book. So thank you for that. And then I finished my book of the month, personal book of the month, on 20th of this month. So on 21st, I asked in the group, what is the book of the month again? So I can see what can I do. Honestly, if I minus the years I read the Hausa novels, that is the economic literatures, that one I was the fastest. This is the fastest I ever read a book, because I read 85% of the book to now. So that is 163 pages from 21st to today, 9th. Yeah. So I'm about to finish 2 books this month. So that is one thing. So what I wanted to say is a little bit of a comment about the book, because I read it and I fast read it. So I want to see how far I understood it. And then another thing I want to say is a personal story about the one thing. So about the book, there are so many things that caught my attention. Number one, very important, about that is where I started writing. I was reading up to almost like 100 pages. I'm not writing anything. But when I saw something talking about discipline and then habit, he said that we all believe that discipline is what actually make us successful. But he decluttered the trust, saying that it's not discipline, it's a habit. Because me, I always avoid discipline. I don't like things that I will have to be forcing myself to do it. Wake up and do this one, wake up and do this one. But he told me that if it becomes a habit, then it is not a discipline again. Now it is part of you, and it will become very easy to do. And believe me, I see this in reading this book. When I started, I said I have to read 10-15 pages a day. Initially, it was terrible. But I said I have to do it. When I reached the point where they said discipline is on 66 days, I was like, okay, let me see. Now, the book is very sweet. I'm just reading it like an ordinary book. And another thing he was, as the reviewer said, as the irony of multitasking. I believe that we have to do a lot at a time, but really, when we are doing a lot at a time, we are almost always focusing on one thing. Sometimes I used to listen to, I say let me listen to Wa'azi, and at the same time let me scroll through social media. I would later realize that I will reply more of the comments in my Facebook post. Then I understood of the Wa'azi. I'll be like, there is nothing like multitasking. That's another thing I learned. And then he said that time waits for no one. And then he talked about that while he is talking about focusing on one thing to success. He also told us that we should also not forget about our one people. This means that so many of us, so many of the successful people, they succeed at the expense of relationships. Yes. I was a medical student, so that is the story. If you are a medical student, Umar, isn't it? If you are a medical student, social life is not for you. Yes. All they told us about is focus on your one thing, and that is medical studies. So we are in medical school, anytime carry your books. Anything that's no books is distraction. But honestly, after I realized that this medicine is not enough, I realized that it should not be the only one thing. It should be one of the one thing. I should have developed a lot of relationship. But that is the truth. Do not chase success at the expense of relationship. He said that the success, the time spent with a toddler, 3 years or 2 years, is not equivalent to a time spent with a teen. And that time cannot be bought back. So while focusing on success, let us not forget about those people behind our success.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much, Muhammad, for that wonderful and insightful book review. Mine is also a contribution. Okay, the book really deserves its title, The One Thing, and I actually read the book. There is a Hausa saying that ba a tamna taura biyu a lokaci daya. This means that if you are trying to do too many things at the same time, we may end up doing nothing well. And for example, if you have several tasks, you have to arrange them based on priority. Do the most important one first, the next important second, and the least important should be last. Okay, thank you.
People who have extraordinary results, they have people that help them to achieve that result. He said that people like Albert Einstein, they have people that help them in order to achieve their success. That's what I want you to please shed more light in. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Mine too is also a question. I have 2 questions actually, but let me focus on one in order to apply the 110 rule. Yeah. So you said among your slides, I've seen one slide that you said the lesson you learned. So among the lesson you learned in the book, which one is the most hardest part to apply in our daily life? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum once again. First of all, I would like to thank our reviewer. This is his first time, so let's appreciate Engineer. he told me that his wanting this year, even before we decided we were going to read this book, is to improve in public speaking. So, and when the book was released, he wasn't even aware. And I think he read the book in maybe 2 weeks, I think. Even before the deadline, he has already finished the book, his slides and everything. So he's really focused on his wanting. So I think the book and the reviewer, they coincidentally came at the right time. And we picked this book at the start of the year so that we can help each other to focus on that wanting. You know, usually when the year starts, we used to look at New Year plans, New Year me, right? By February or March, you have abandoned New Year you, and you don't even know where you stand. But this book can help you to stay focused on just one thing. And it's so easy for you to do that so that you can achieve maximum results. If you focus on just one thing, it's not very difficult, right? So I really enjoyed the book. I read the book from start to finish. And I even wanted to read the book before the review, but there was no time. I was reading other books at the same time. So I have some key takeaways from the book, but I will start with the willpower. I think it was not covered in the review. In the book, the author said your willpower is not at your call to just use it anytime. That is why we fail so many times, because we rely on our willpower. You think that your willpower is enough to carry you through. That is when the doctor was talking about discipline. You rely on willpower to be disciplined, right? So what we don't understand, the science behind willpower, is that just like your muscle, just like when you eat food, your energy, when you engage in so many activities, your energy will decrease. So also is your willpower. When you wake up in the morning, perhaps your willpower is at 100%, right? But as you go through the day, you are sapping through your willpower. So when you don't tackle your wanting first, when you leave it till later, then you may end up not doing it, because by the time you want to do it, the willpower is not there. So that is why he said, always try to tackle your first thing, your wanting, do it early and get it done, because that wanting will be responsible for 80% of your output, right? That is the Pareto principle. So it's very important for us to understand this science. Don't just rely all the time on your willpower. That is when habits come into play. I read another book about habits. In that book, The Atomic Habits, the author, James Clear, he said, there is nothing like you to say that you master a habit in maybe 66 days or 100 days. There's nothing like that. A habit is built on consistency. If you build a habit and you stop doing that, then it's no longer your habit, right? So the best thing to look at habits is look at the end goal. For example, if you say you want to start reading a book, right? You want to read a book, you want to become a reader, but don't focus on the book. What is the end goal? Why are you reading, right? Maybe you want to be a scholar, an Islamic scholar. That is where you see yourself. Then focus on the end goal. You want to be a scholar. So how do you become a scholar? By reading. So if you focus on the reading, it's easier for you to start and then you drop it. But when you are looking at the outcome, as human beings, we always like to see the outcome. So if you focus on the outcome, that is how you keep yourself motivated. Then another issue is the issue of multitasking. I know the reviewer, he talked on that a little bit, but I feel maybe I can add to that. Multitasking is a myth. I have discussed several with other people. I remember another person was telling me that he does multitask. But if you want to measure if you are effective at multitasking, do you think that you can maybe read and write at the same time? That's not possible. You have to do one thing at the same time, at a time, right? So what you are doing is you are swapping. You are not multitasking, but you are swapping tasks. And a research was conducted in the US, and it was realized that the people who focus on multitasking, they are less effective by, I think, over 20%. And the reason why, the science behind it is, whenever you switch focus, it takes you time before you build and come back to the task you initially started. Just like when you are talking to somebody and someone was talking to you at the same time, you'll be distracted. So you'll end up not hearing any of them. So by the time you are focused on another person, you'll have to ask him to repeat what he said, right? So you are wasting time on that. Instead, just focus on just one thing, get it done, then move on to the next item. He's not saying that you should do one thing forever. No, do one thing, get it done, then move on to another task. That is how you become more productive and more efficient in whatever you do. So I have so many points, but I know others want to add to the discussion, so I'll stop here. If there's still time, then I'll come back later. Thank you.
Our book reviewer, thank you very much and congratulations. You see, my one thing is coming to the podium and making a presentation well. I really admire it. Not making a perfect presentation, because no one is perfect, but if you come to the podium and deliver a presentation, I used to be happy. I used to feel like I wish it is me. And later on I realized that this is my one thing. When I read this book, that one thing, especially when you said the focusing question, there was a chart that he drew on, was it lifetime goal? Then you now narrow it to 5-year goal, then to 1-year goal, to 1 month goal, to 1 week, to 1 hour, and to right now. So if you're reading the book, you will be wondering, if you're reading the book critically, you will find out that you will have to be serious about what do you really want to achieve. What is really your one thing and how can you achieve it? And this power of time blocking, I know I have issue with that. Many times I'll turn on my computer to read and I will end up in WhatsApp or TikTok. Partially reading, partially enjoying my time. But this author is telling us to time block and to really protect that time that we're blocking. He said he is doing his productive things in the morning, early in the morning, and he will have appointment with himself in the evening to see what he achieved during that day. So I'm happy I read the book. I read about 142 pages. I wasn't able to finish the book, but I have really come to now notice what is my one thing and how can I improve on it. Thank you once again.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mine is not much. I just want to appreciate the presenter for the precise, concise, and succinct presentation. You did very well. You showed mastery of the content. The slides are clear. Apart from some few mannerism, you are touching the screen. I think maybe you could have used your cursor in the system and do that, not to go and be touching the screen. Then also, I want to thank you again also for making me to also realize my one thing in 2026. Then also I want to ask, these books, are they being shared to the platform for us, the newcomers, so that next time before we come we'll be able to read something before coming? Thank you. You sharing? But I've not seen this one in the group.
Maybe chat a year ago.
Okay, too. Thank you so much.
Good evening once again. Actually, to be sincere with you, I don't have much to say. In fact, even at the time I rise, I don't know what to say. But I feel that the one thing all of us here we are interested is in public speaking, right? And I later on realized that the only one thing you can do to improve in terms of public speaking is for you to speak. More especially in an intellectual gathering like the Readers Hub, if you can confidently speak here, you can speak anywhere. Internationally, in the United States, in the Senate, we aspiring politicians. So that is it actually. So this is what I'm doing. I can say my one thing is, just like my brother and my sister here, is to be great in terms of public speaking and communication. And just like I've said, anyone that we share the same aspiration here, we can buy into this one thing. Just stand up, talk as you get the opportunity, and learn through the process. Your great feedback is when you take action. If you take action, you realize your potentials, just like my good brother, and you can see the improvements. Actually, he has transformed beyond imagination, and he keeps on. Along the way, he will learn, and if he learns, he keeps on improving. So let us key into that. And there was a saying that don't just talk for the urgency of talking. So I want to add value. I don't know whether you understand. So I speak, let me not waste your time, let me add. This year, I read 2 books. The first one was Build, Don't Talk by Raj Shamani. And the second one that I'm currently reading, about to finish, is The Diary of CEO. And in these books, they have connection in terms of one thing. So I urge all of you, if you have time, to sit down and read these books, particularly the one, Build, Don't Talk. As we read the book of the month, that is the one thing, if you complement it with Build, Don't Talk, I believe we are unstoppable. You have a lot too if you marry the two. So please spare time to read this book. It's very short and you all enjoy it. Thank you very much.
My own is just a suggestion, because I'm that kind of person that, like, if I'm listening, if I said I would have to jot it down, my mind used to go somewhere. So I'm just urging for, please, if we have like a monthly or book review or something, please, we find it difficult to have the slide. So that is what I want, please.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My own is just about the one thing I have found here, and then I have gotten from the experience I have within the January of this month, of this year, 2026. I focus on 3 things, not one thing. But yes, but it comes to have the one thing. That one thing is just the change in 3 people's life, which I put it in practice and in line with all my success. I traveled last 2 weeks ago. I discussed with that 3 people and jotted down the things I want them to focus on. As I give them the things I jotted there, they called me as I'm coming to this place. I even entered this room. They called me that Alhamdulillah, now the result is out. As of that focus, as I jotted it down to them, they focus on that thing and the result is now out. They have succeeded. They have succeeded. Three people, 3 things, but one thing. That one thing is what? The success, their success. So this is just the short, because if I keep talking now, it will take a lot of time. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We were opportune to have so many of us here who have found their one thing now, right? So, yeah, for me, I'm still finding mine, because maybe I have to liaise with engineer, and so thank you. But for me, maybe I think I have one thing to add. For example, you wake up tomorrow and your to-do list this affair. What's that one thing you first think of? That one thing is that one thing that you should focus on. Do we get it? If you wake up tomorrow and your to-do list this affair, nowhere to be found. And the first thing that came to your mind, that is the one thing you should focus on throughout the 2026. If we can all do this, I believe we can achieve a lot.
Thank you so much for your all contribution. Actually, the first question goes like this. He said in the book, the author started with how Albert Einstein expressed how some people contribute to his success. Yes, I wrote about that, but what I want to try to show you that when you read the book from top to bottom, you realize that the author is emphasizing on just focusing you figured out that one thing and focus on it, but there is no emphasis on teamwork. I'm not saying that the author does not talk about people may contribute to your success or to that one thing that you figured out. So that's what I mean. I think, do you understand what I mean? I didn't say that the author didn't explain about like teamwork. I know he talked about how Einstein explained how definitely you may find out that in your journey of success, so some people might have contribution. Yes, even the example I cited, the salty fish, yes, there are a lot of people behind that success. Meishanu's success also, before Meishanu started her own show, she was presenting with this Ukana Abdulbaki that he is there also on social media. I know about him. So definitely some people may have a little contribution in your success. That's what I mean. And the second question, what he said, I should, which one I prepared the most? The one among the lessons I learned in the book is the habit creates success. Yes, definitely when you create habit for something, and that's something you find out that that thing is the one thing you have focus on. So when you create a habit for it, definitely you will get success. I can cite 2 examples for you. When I decided that I want to be a public speaker, I want to learn public speaking, my mentor here, Oga Faisal, used to tell me that, Muhammad, keep trying, always try to talk whenever you get the opportunity to talk. And I believe people who came to ReadersHub, I think 6 weeks back to 1 month back, they found out that it's hardly for me to come to ReadersHub without talking. I have to speak. Yes, and inshallah I'll keep doing that until I achieve this one thing, public speaking, I want to achieve. I will make it my habit. Yes. And then there is one thing also I want to put in my life. One thing is I don't want to be far away from Quran. So I put my habit that no matter what, when I wake up, it should be among my first things to do life. Let it be that when I didn't even do that, I feel like I'm not well in that day. So I make it my habit every day. And by then I realized that there are some surahs that I used to read a lot every day. So I found out that I have no intention of cramming them, but it is my successful journey that I found out some of the ayahs are now in my head. So alhamdulillah, this is what I found the most, and I think it is the lesson I choose the most. Habit creates success. So thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to the January ReadersHub book review. So to our reviewer, we say a big thank you for this factful review, and to everyone who came. Your presence here is not taken for granted. We sincerely appreciate everyone for coming, and please remember that you should pick that one thing and concentrate on it. Thank you for coming. We wish to see you more in our sections every Thursday at Lumilove, and every last Thursday of the month as the National Library here. So one of our biggest supporter, biggest friends, biggest social media supporter, Last Man TV, we say a big thank you. We say a big thank you. The support you are giving us is not for granted. We didn't take it for granted, and we are very, very grateful. And thank you everyone.
Thank you for giving us this